Hello students, welcome to this class of Services Marketing. I am your teacher Komal Kapoor, and I am a Marketing and Strategy Professor at IMS Ghaziabad University Courses Campus. With over 20 years of rich experience in teaching marketing and management papers to masters and UG students of management, I have developed a liking for services marketing paper. There are many reasons for that. These days, most of the companies that come for placements, say 70% of them, belong to the service sector, whether it's banking or insurance, BFSI, it may be aviation or entertainment, asset management companies, telecom players. So we see that there is a growing importance of services marketing, and to understand that once you join a service marketing organization, what you should know and what you should understand well, so that you're able to play your managerial role well. For this, it is very important to understand the consumer buying behavior, and today's session will be focused on the same. The session has primarily been curated for you to understand how consumers are different when it comes to services buying. What are the various factors they consider important when they go and search for information or even evaluate the various service brands available to them? It would also focus on the feelings that the consumers undergo with respect to the transitory things happening in their life, the culture that they belong to, the mood swings that they may be having because of various personal and professional reasons. So let us begin today's class, which is focused on the core objectives of understanding the differences in consumer buying behavior towards goods and services. The session today would also focus on your understanding of consumer decision-making process. We all understand that buying of products and services is very, very different. We have features of tangibility in a product, whereas services are intangible. We also understand that there is a perishability aspect in the services sector, where the goods are more durable. They are consumed and produced at a different time, so that there is a storing capacity possible for goods. Similarly, we also understand that there is a customer service aspect to goods. So due to some wear and tear, the customers can always go back to the organization and fulfill their requirements, whereas in services, there is simultaneous production and consumption. So possibilities of service errors is very, very high. Service mistakes are bound to happen, and hence service recoveries are very, very important. And lastly, the buying decisions are also very different, and the buying process is very different because there is an aspect of heterogeneity in the services, which we also call as variability. Services cannot be delivered homogeneously like a product. Products are uniform in nature, they are standardized, but when it comes to services, it is either delivered by humans or by technology, and hence there will always be a moderation, a variable or variety involved, and the customers will not be able to get the same level of satisfaction every time. Moving on, let us understand the first thing: how the evaluation process is undertaken by the consumers. Let me tell you that in products, it is very, very simple because we have certain evaluation parameters in mind. For example, when we buy a smartphone, we are very clear about the camera that we are requiring, the memory, the processing, the brand that we are looking at, even the price point of the smartphone that we want to buy. So it becomes very easy to eliminate all those brands that do not fall in the preference category of all these alternatives. And we select by elimination, and we're able to make a choice. But students, please understand that in services, it is very difficult to have search qualities, because services will be variable, will be intangible, and whatever a consumer may have in mind, they may not be able to get it or get it exactly the same when they go for services. For example, when we go for medical services, like we go to hospital for our regular checkups or any kind of medical emergency, we cannot search, we can only rely on a known brand of hospital and the senior most person there. So search qualities would not be able to play a very important role in evaluating the services, as we really cannot search for those parameters and features and attributes in services, which is very easy in product categories. Secondly, services are more like deeds. Services are more like experiences, and that is why majority of the services are also evaluated on experience qualities. So we go by other people's experience. If someone else has visited a very good restaurant in the locality, we ask them for their experience. People have gone to see a particular movie that is just released. We ask for their experience. So word of mouth, both negative and positive, play a very important role in evaluating the experience qualities of a service delivered, and that is how through word of mouth people are able to propagate those brands which they use, and that other consumers also get motivated. The most critical of all is the credence qualities. Even beyond the search and experience qualities, there are many products and services that are beyond our intellect, that are beyond our knowledge. We really cannot evaluate them. For example, if we go for a root canal to a very known dentist and we get the root canal done, can we ever know whether the root canal has been done properly? We only believe the doctor. We only believe in the credibility and the goodwill of that doctor. Similarly, most of us are non-technical in nature. When we give our cars or vehicles for servicing, that is the regular part and maintenance of a car, the servicing is done and we pick up the car in the evening. But can we really evaluate technically and also from inside the car whether that car has been duly serviced and all the problems have been taken care of? I guess really not. So credence qualities are all those credibility factors which are attached to many of the services like education. When you go for medical emergencies, when you go for a root canal, you're going to a lawyer who's fighting a case for you. You just have to rely on the credibility, on the knowledge of the lawyer, because we are not lawyers and we have not done the legal studies. Let me understand this entire concept with the help of this diagram. Like I discussed with you, the most categories of goods fall in the search qualities. So you can see products like clothing, jewelry, furniture, and houses and automobiles are very high on the search qualities because we are able to evaluate, we can judge their attributes, decide their features, and finally take a decision. On the contrary, if we move more towards the right side, we see that few services will fall under the experience qualities, like vacations, restaurant, entertainment activities, even haircuts and childcare, where we rely really on that person who will give us the right input, which will help us in taking the right decision for our own service delivery. And moving to the extreme right, we have most of the services that fall in the credence quality parameter or the credibility parameter, where even after using the service, we are not sure about the final results because we are not that intellectual and capable of evaluating the final outcome of that service. So like we discussed, an operation that you have undergone, or a root canal surgery which you have undergone, or even a lawyer or an advocate fighting your case. So this kind of model, which is a continuum of evaluation for different types of products, every management trainee joining a service organization should understand, so that you will know whether your service which your company is offering falls into the search quality, the experience quality, or the credence quality. And as a manager, you can formulate better marketing decisions and better evaluation, and that can help you in performing better. Moving on with the today's session, let me take you a very important model, which is the core model in marketing and consumer decision making, where stage 1 is information search about the product or services you are looking at. Stage 2 is about evaluation of alternatives, when we have certain brands in mind and we evaluate them on certain attributes and qualities and aftercomes which will help us in taking a decision. Purchase and consumption is a third stage where we have taken a decision out of the entire evaluation and selection criteria, and we go ahead with that service buying. And last stage is post-purchase evaluation. When we have actually used the service, we are in a better position to get satisfied or dissatisfied with it, and then give a analysis whether that service brand has been able to meet our requirements and our preferences. But we also need to understand that consumer decision making in services is not that simple. It is not as easy as buying products where we are very sure about the brand, the features, and the attributes. For example, you can see in the first stage, which is information search. In products, we refer to more commercial sources, the marketing of the company, the advertisements of the company. But in services, which are more personal, which are more experiential, we rely more on use of our personal sources. So we rely more on word of mouth, what people tell us about that particular service or a doctor or a hospital. And actually we want to reduce our perceived risk. Because we understand that suppose we are taking admission to a particular college and we want to be sure about the education being given there, the placement opportunities, the extracurricular activities, because it is about the decision of the career for a student. So perceived risk is very high, and that is why relying on personal and people who have used that service is very, very critical in services, which is not so important in products. Similarly, in the second stage, you can see while evaluating the alternatives also, we have certain features and attributes where we can evaluate the products. But in services, it is more about what we feel about the service. What are the emotional ups and downs that we are feeling, which makes us either positive or negative about a particular service organization. Along with this, we have an evoked set in our mind. For example, today is your birthday and your parents have asked you to shortlist a particular restaurant where they will be taking you. So as an emotion, you would want to go to an expensive restaurant where you can have a nice lavish treat and you may enjoy your birthday along with your family members and your friends. But there is also an evoked set in your mind. So you may feel that today I don't want to try out Indian or Mughlai or anything else. I want to try out a new cuisine. It may be Chinese, Japanese, or maybe continental. So your evoked set will fall under the category of all the continental restaurants in your vicinity, in your nearby area, and out of those, based on their rating and reviews, you will suggest a particular restaurant to your parents where they will be taking you. So while evaluating the various service brands, your emotions, your moods, how you're feeling today, it's an important day for you, and other things play a very, very important role in evaluating the alternatives and finally taking the decision about the service company that you would like to go for. Even in the third stage, which is purchase and consumption, it is not that simple that you have swiped your card or your dad's card and you've just made the purchase. Because service provision is like a drama, where customers and employees, they both play a very important role. As you can see, suppose you go to a McDonald's outlet with your friends. So every person there is playing a role. When you go to the counter, the person will treat you nicely and they will greet you and they will ask you what would you like to have. So they are as a person playing a role, and even you are playing a role by giving the order and taking what you want to have. So in this service provision as a drama, the roles and scripts are defined. That person is supposed to speak to you in a particular manner with the right sentences. If you order only a burger and a drink, he would also tell you, would you like to have any dessert? Would you like to take it away from the particular restaurant, or you would like to have it here? So all these questions become a part of the consumption decision or the consumption journey, which may not be there in case of products. Similarly, these also enhance the service delivery because the interaction between the customer and the producer is very, very critical while the purchasing is taking place. For example, you come and study. So the interaction happening between you and the teacher will help in evaluating and delivering and analyzing what is your level of satisfaction with the education and the classes that you are taking. And it is applicable to all the services, whether you're traveling through a plane, where you're going to a restaurant to have dinner, or you are also using a salon services, which generally we go for our general hygiene. Moving on to the last stage in the consumer buying process is the post-purchase evaluation, as you can see. Now again, my dear students, evaluating products is very easy because you have certain features in mind. You run the product, you let it perform for you, and you're able to evaluate whether the product is able to live up to your expectations or not. So you can evaluate your smartphone, you evaluate your laptop, you evaluate the clothing that you're wearing, whether it is suiting you, looking nice on you or not. But in services, it is little different. Because number one, services are experiences, they are deeds. Services are delivered through interaction between you and the employee. And that is why the possibility of dissatisfaction is higher. Because humans may err. And those errors may happen even at the employee end or at your end. And the attribution of this dissatisfaction is the determination of whether you will spread positive word of mouth or negative word of mouth about the particular service company. Also, brand loyalty plays a very important role, and you would like to give another chance to the service organization even when the last experiences have not been good. For example, our banking needs. Many times the bank visit is not able to result into the right kind of services, but we still stick to the bank and we give them more chances and methods to improve them because we feel that it's only a one-time instance that this has happened. Similarly, for service companies, it is a very important duty to innovate and then diffuse that innovation into your mind. That will only be possible if the company has a positive word of mouth and they're able to diffuse the new innovation to you along with the earlier services that you have been using. So now you understand that the consumer decision making process or the services is not very easy. It's quite complicated, it's quite complex, as the box in the middle also shows that your values, your attitude, your upbringing, right, the beliefs that you have lived by, how materialistic you are, what are your background, social and educational upbringings that you have had, these all impact ultimately the process that you adopt for your decision making, and every stage will be impacted by it. So these two analyses of consumer buying behavior towards services, you should know, you should understand, and tomorrow when you join as managers, you should be able to implement them in your decision making at the organization. I would be concluding this class by giving you a small task to be done so that you can prepare yourself for the next class better. So I urge you to select 5 services which may be pure service like banking or aviation or education, or it may be hybrid service like restaurant or any kind of salon where tangible and intangible activities both are important for you. I would like you to evaluate them on their search qualities, credence qualities and experience qualities and make a table about it. Secondly, in the second part of the assignment, you should discuss and critically evaluate the consumer decision process for all these 5 services which you have selected and understand the differences that exist. So for example, if you may choose 5 services, one may be a restaurant dining out visit, one may be education, one can be taking an aeroplane to say Bangalore, one can be a saloon visit, and one can be a legal case. So evaluate these 5 on the consumer decision making process, understand their similarities and differences, and create a assignment which should be handwritten and make it available in the next class when we will move ahead with the more complicated intricacies of the consumer buying behavior, and through your assignment we will be able to evaluate practically how the service sector is implementing it. So I conclude this class here, and I would request you to bring this assignment to the next class so that we can take this services marketing journey ahead. Have a nice day.